Hi everybody, so in this video I want to try and answer the question about whether the SteamDeck can run AAA titles, and in particular what we're going to be looking at here is Red Dead Redemption 2, which you can see here, and we're going to be firing up Cyberpunk 2077 as well. And this is on my brand new SteamDeck OLED 512GB version. I haven't got any performance apps running, but what I have done is I did go online and look up some YouTube videos on the best settings to have Red Dead Redemption on if you wanted a decent frame rate. And I've turned on the SteamDeck's performance overlay at the top of the screen. So as you can see, in this kind of treed area, we're getting between 30 and 40, sometimes up to 50 frames per second, depending what's going on the screen. If we go into built-up areas like a town where there's a few people wandering around, it does get a little bit lower. And let's have a look at the settings just to give you an idea of what we're running at. Where are we? Graphics. And what you'll notice is that we've got like medium settings for lots of stuff and low, and you might think, oh, I'm used to playing on my gaming PC that's running, you know, at ultra at 90 frames a second or 120 frames a second. Surely this is a really big step down. You know, how do you put up with it? Well, because the Steam Deck does have that lower resolution, I think it's 800 by 1200 or something like that, so it's pretty low. But because the screen is so small, it's actually very, very sharp. And it is this new fantastic OLED panel that we have on the new OLED versions, which is amazing. It's like a panel from a really nice mobile phone, because most monitors, like my monitors, they're just LCD, and you don't really appreciate the amazing contrast and colour you get with these OLED panels. Even the TVs in our house are LCDs, so this does look very, very nice indeed. And after playing for a few hours on Red Dead Redemption, I've got to say, Red Dead Redemption 2, I've been very, very pleased with it indeed, and I think it plays very well. And that includes all of the controls as well. The thumbsticks are really nice. Ooh, what are they all panicking about? The only thing sometimes is text can be a little bit small, but if you press the Steam button and then press the top left shoulder button, you can kind of zoom in and look at things and look around. And yeah, and I'm very, very impressed with this, and I'm very pleased. Oh, why have I got my gun out? I'm not quite sure. With the performance of Red Dead Redemption 2. So I think that's a massive tick. If you're wondering, does Red Dead Redemption 2 run nicely on a Steam Deck? It does. It looks beautiful, and I'm looking forward to doing more of it. So what we'll do now is, if we quit this, are you sure you want to quit? Yes. Now, you can hot swap between games on the Steam Deck, but I think probably if you're playing some of the more demanding games that are using lots of graphical memory especially, then you're probably better off closing a game down before you go down and load another one up. So, here we go. Now let's fire up Cyberpunk. Now, the Cyberpunk version that I've got is from Good Old Game, from GOG. And the publishers behind Cyberpunk. So I have to go to this heroic launcher that I've installed, and then we fire it up. I have synced the cloud saves, so I've got those. And to be honest, this game has been another one that I've been very pleased with as well. I think it looks very nice and plays very, very well as well. Okay, let's see, play now. Okay, so we're loading up CD Projekt Red's amazing Cyberpunk 2077. Just had to do a quick restart on the Steam Deck, and that kind of reinforces the fact that although the Steam Deck is a console-like device when you're working with Steam games in particular, you know, just working from your Steam library, when you've got to start pulling things in from other stores, so for example, in this case, using Heroic Launcher to launch into my GOG version of Cyberpunk, things can get a little bit more complicated, a little more clunky, and definitely a lot more PC-like. I mean, with a bit of work, you know, you can download your saves, and it will sync the saves between the PC and your Steam Deck, but it's not seamless. And you can really see why. I mean, the reason why the Steam Deck is the price that it is because Valve know that you're going to be buying lots of games of them from their library, you know, so they're getting that cut of that, where other device manufacturers such as Lenovo and with a ROG Ally, the Asus, you know, they're not getting that, are they? So you can kind of understand why on the Steam Deck the Valve experience is very, very, very smooth. And yet, you know, with other launchers, it's not so much so. Though saying that, again, it is early days, and especially for me as well. That, I mean, I'm using the Heroic launcher, but there's probably other launchers that I could use. Even get the default kind of launcher working, like the GOG launcher, and that would probably work better as well. So as you can see, top left hand corner, we're getting about 40 to 50 frames a second, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, Cyberpunk is an amazing looking game, Blade Runner, but let's jump into the settings so you can see what we're running at. And again, you'll probably be surprised that it's fairly low. So Cyberpunk actually has a SteamDeck preset, which I've just gone for, and I guess it's using AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2.1 to probably render the game at a lower level and then increase the resolution using their FSR technology. But what we'll do, let's whack up the crowd density and go back in. And then what happens now is generally we tend to lose a few frames a second, but it still looks really, 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 really nice. And I think, again, confirms that the Steam Deck can definitely play, you know, AAA titles. I know probably with some of the newer ones like Alan Wake 2 and some of the other ones that it can be a little bit more difficult. But the magic that is the Linux or the Linux operating system when it comes to, where's my motorbike? Come to running these titles is absolutely fantastic. And remember, with the Steam Deck, you can plug it into a monitor as well, and you know, I have done that. I've got a dock, and I will be doing a video about it. Where's my motorbike? It's not down here, is it? And of course, you're not getting the resolution you would out of a gaming PC, but it's still, you know, acceptable. I guess one of the questions you may well want to, you know, ask is, if, for example, you had a console, so you had something like you know, an Xbox or a PlayStation, and we're thinking about getting into PC games, is the Steam Deck a way into that? And for me at the moment, the answer is kind of, but I kind of think that maybe for some of the things that you'll probably want to do with the Steam Deck, say run alternative launchers and things like that, it helps to have a PC as well. So I think maybe if you already had like a laptop or something, so you've got access to the internet, we can download files and look at things, that would be good. And then you could definitely use the Steam Deck that way, because the performance is fantastic. You know, I've already paired a controller to it separately, which worked very, very well, and through the dock a wireless keyboard and mouse, and that worked very well indeed. But this just looks absolutely fantastic. There is a HDR mode, but it doesn't seem to be working very well at the moment. But once that works, that will really show off the OLED screen as well. And remember, the actual performance between the OLED model, which we have here, and then the old LCD, there isn't much in it. So if you're watching this and you're thinking about getting the, say, the 256GB LCD version, or a second-hand one, I think you'll be very, very pleased indeed, because they both have very similar performance specs. And of course, one of the greatest things you can do when you are playing games, I think anyway, is to plug in a set of headphones, whether that be through the wired connector or through Bluetooth, because sound and the immersion that really good sound brings takes the game to another level, and that is definitely the case with Cyberpunk. So there we go, that brings our little test to the end. Cyberpunk 2077 running beautifully, between 30 and 40 frames a second, and Red Dead Redemption 2 running very, very beautifully and smoothly. And again, as I say, I haven't installed anything like any of the apps and the programs that actually make games run smoother, so I'll probably be doing that next. Look at that. I mean, can you imagine this is on a handheld? Absolutely marvellous, absolutely magical. Anyway, that's enough from me. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below, and of course, I'll see you again soon.